Welcome to the Modern Warfare 2 Online Pro Circuit Live, brought to you by PlayStation 3. I'm Chris Puckett, and tonight we have the Winners Bracket Finals match between number 1 seeded Influence and the 6 seeded Xtravagant. Xtravagant is yet to drop a game in the playoff bracket, but tonight they face their toughest opponent, our Event 1 champions, the Influence. It's time to find out. Will Xtravagant make it to the championship match, or will the Influence be there for a second time? Let's send it over to our commentators live in the game, Fwiz and Hastro.
Oh, we're on live. We're live.
Yeah.
Thanks, Puckett, and welcome to the Modern Warfare 2 Online Pro Circuit Live, brought to you by the PlayStation 3. I'm your host, Fwiz, and alongside of me this evening, we've got my good buddy and co-commentator, Hastro. Hastro, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, Fwiz.
We got a big matchup tonight on our hands. We've got the number 1 seeded Influence, our returning champions from Online Pro Circuit number 1, taking on the number 6 seeded Xtravagant. As Puckett said earlier, Xtravagant has not dropped a map at all in the winner's bracket and are going to try to continue that dominance against a formidable opponent in Team Influence. Kicking it off tonight, we're going to have Game 1, which we capture the flag high rise. And capture the flag high rise, you're going to have to look out for a couple of things here. But let me break down the teams. I want to start off with our number 1 Influence team. They'll be playing as our red team tonight, led by Pluto, the captain of the team, followed by Fizzerp, Kaz, and Brim Laden. On the other side, our 6-seeded team in the blue, Team Xtravagant, led by Rambo, followed by Big Timer, J-Cap, and Sid Rock. So a lot of amazing Modern Warfare 2 players in the PlayStation 3 community. And like I said earlier, Asher, we're kicking it off with Capture the Flag High Rise. What are some things we're going to have to look out here for on this map?
Well, we've seen this map quite a few times on the broadcast that we've been doing for the playoffs, and it's all about middle map control on this map. You really want to make sure that you lock down and control that center map, and that allows your team to really grab flags and run them aggressively. And that's what we're going to be looking for here on this map tonight.
Absolutely. I think a couple things we're going to have to keep an eye out for is the choke point, especially getting up on that helicopter and trying to set up the spawn traps. For some of the maybe the users out there that aren't familiar with spawn traps, kind of elaborate what a spawn trap is and where we'll see it on Capture the Flag High Rise.
Well, like I said, middle map control is what you're looking for on this map. And the way you get the other team in a spawn trap is you have basically 3 windows, middle window area, the left and right windows on either side. So this map is really balanced in that aspect. So to get the other team in the spawn trap, you really have to lock down those windows.
All right, well, let's kick off our player camera with Team Influence. They're going to be our top team coming into the match. And I want to get the player camera focused on Brim here. He was a little late getting in the room, but as we kick it off with him, let's see if they can move in. The key, as Asher was saying, is trying to get up in those advantageous spots to get into the spawn trap. And you're going to have to watch out for Influence. They've got some really good slayers on their team that can definitely counter Big Timer and Sid Rock for Xtravagant. As we see right there, Brim gets taken out. We switch over to Pluto, the captain for Team Influence. They did make some roster changes coming in. They don't have the exact same core group of players that they did in Online Pro Circuit number 1, but they've made pretty good adjustments with the things that they have added to the team. So Pluto's been obviously a core to Influence so far, and looking forward to see what they can do as he takes out right there. Rambo was trying to go in for the flag, so he's hidden back here behind the counter, just going to make sure that nobody gets a grab and takes it too far.
Yeah, right now it looks like Influence is holding their own. Xtravagant comes out of the gate really fast, and that's what we've seen out of them all pro circuit long. They haven't lost the map here in the playoff winner bracket, and right now they're looking pretty good coming out the gate. J-Cap is posting up for 4-1. He's at 5-1 now. Just picked up a nice little kill on Fizzerp, and it looks like Pluto just got a return on their flag, so Xtravagant is going to have to make that push one more time, Fwiz.
Yeah, I noticed that they just now got that return. I mean, they even say that they struggled to get that return for about 30 seconds there. It says a lot that they are able to hold Xtravagant back, but they've been playing mostly a defensive stance as Influence has not even, got a pull or anything even into the base yet in Xtravagant's base. So they're going to have to start trying to move in. As we see right now, Pluto for the first time gets in, gets a grab, nice behind enemy lines, moving up here through the left. And nobody's in his way. As you see, Fizzerp's going to be able to help him out on the side as he just moved into the middle of the map there. Pluto taking his time wrapping around the building, has Brim taking some stuns over here, but if he gets out of it in time, that'll serve as covers for him. And Influence looks like they're going to get on the board as they took Big Timer out. Big Timer was waiting to try to get a sneaky kill back there so that he could kill the flag carrier and try to get a return, but we see Influence on the board early. And guys, Xtravagant one of their favorite 3 maps, game types, are the first 3 games here coming into it. So Influence is already just taking advantage of being host game 1 and just all of a sudden turned around a very defensive approach, and we saw Pluto break lines, get in there and get out, and really didn't take any damage at all that entire run back. And another thing, I think he's got marathon stopping power on. So I thought he didn't have lightweight. So it was a pretty good job on his behalf.
Well, Xtravagant came out gunning Quiz, and what happened there is Pluto just made a bold move, picked up 2 quick kills, grabbed that flag, and he was able to make a really, really nice run and cap it. Right now, it looks like Brim just cleaned up Rambo, who was running the flag for Xtravagant. And it looks like Xtravagant might get on the board here. Let's see if they can pull this one off. They're pushing that flag really aggressively right now. Looks like, oh, that was a big kill right there. Nope,
they got it though. Yep, they got it. And that was, Hastro, that was big timer. Really, not somebody you see going for flags too often, but in a situation when you're down, it's kind of any man that can get in there and grab one. And we saw Big Timer come up big there for Xtravagant to tie it up. I mean, guys, if you're just now tuning in, you are watching 2 of the best teams on the pro circuit. I mean, this is going to be a matchup. I mean, Xtravagant is yet to drop a map in any of this, but this is going to be the team that's going to give them a run for their money here, our returning champions. And you are watching some of the best players as we see Brim take out Rambo, but it's followed by Big Timer. Big Timer is in that slaying position on the helipad right now, Astro.
Yeah, it looks like Xtravagant is kind of gaining the momentum here again. And like you said, Quiz, these are 2 of the best teams here on the pro circuit. And in my opinion, I really do think that these are the 2 best teams at the moment going at it in the Winter Bracket Finals here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, it's amazing juggernaut matchup here in the Winners Final. You couldn't ask for anything else than this. And if whoever gets knocked down in the losers bracket tonight is going to have some tough opponents as well, because AOX has been fighting through the losers bracket, a very well-known 360 team that came over to the PlayStation 3. They have been really causing a lot of teams problems. They actually have yet to drop a map in the losers bracket. So whoever gets dropped down even into this loser bracket from this match is not going to have an easy way into the championship. I'll tell you that. These teams that are stacked up fighting to get into the championship are all quality teams that are remaining in this bracket.
Yeah, they are. And with 25 seconds left here, it looks like we're going to see one more push out of Influence as they grab the flag. Fizzler gets cleaned up, though, by Sidrock, who's over at the propane tank on the left side of the map for the elevator. Pluto is going to go ahead and make another grab. He gets a nice drop shot, so he's not able to pull it off. So it looks like Xtravagant, he did manage to grab another flag cap. He's going to be having the lead here going into the next side, 2-1.
So as we switch sides, like Astro said, we've got Xtravagant that was down 1-0 early on capture the flag and was able to come back there in the final minute to get a second capture. And it looks like they're going to lead it 2-1 here. Influence is going to have to do what they were doing early on in that last half to try to kick it back up, because Xtravagant's starting to warm up and come heavy into this match.
And right now, for the Xtravagant side, we see everybody in the positive except for their objective player. Rambo just coming in 5 and 10, but he's coming in with a flag cap as well. So he's looking pretty good right now for Xtravagant, and I think that's 3 down right now on the Influence side. So they're going to make a push to get that middle map control. The only person stopping them right now is Pluto, who's sitting kind of right in the middle of the map, dead center, and he's not even backing down. I don't know what Pluto's thinking right here. He's been pushing for the flag all game long.
Let's switch over to Xtravagant. They are leading right now 2-1. This is game 1. Capture the flag, high rise. And let's tune in and see what J-Cap's doing right now. He is usually the support player for their team, but I'll tell you what, they've been mixing up positions and roles for the most part here, as everybody's just trying to get a hand on the flag and bring it back on capture the flag, high rise. So J-Cap, he looks like he's playing a little bit more of a defensive approach along with Sidrock, who's across him and gets taken out by Pluto. Switches over, tries to see where Pluto's at, and Pluto comes in and takes out J-Cap. So only person left for Xtravagant, we automatically switch over to Rambo. He's going to have to try to get the flag as pause for team influence has grabbed Xtravagant's flag. And Rambo did a great job coming up through bottom green there to top to take out the flag runner and get the return. Although he gets taken out right there by Brim, that was some clutch play. He was the only person left for Xtravagant. And to come up through there in the green, watch for the flags coming. That's smart play on his behalf. Come up and make the kill with lightweight. Very, very well played by Rambo. As we switch it back over to J-Cap here, let's see what he's able to pull. He's got marathon stopping power from Moss. That's going to be a class that you'll usually always see equipped with J-Cap on his lineup.
Yeah, and right now, Sidrock is sitting over in the east-third area, kind of where the generators are. He gets cleaned up by a Simtech, so that's where he was kind of trying to set up that middle map control like we've been talking about. And it looks like JCat right now is just still playing a defensive role on the flag. And anytime you have a lead 2-1, especially with two heavy hitting teams like this, it's always a good idea to make sure that the other team can't grab your flag. However, it looks like Big Timer is the last one alive here for Xtravagant, and middle map control just switched over in favor of Influence.
Big Timer trying to make some big plays here right now as he takes out Pluto, and they've got to take out Brim. Brim's the one with the flag as he moves in, and Rambo again to take out the flag carrier and get the return. He's been running some great objective skills as we see Big Timer is going in for another flag grab here. He does grab it. He's going to go left side towards the elevator. No, he decides to jump down into the bottom red and maybe take it up from the back. As he's moving in, he gets taken out, it looks like, by Kaz, was taking him out with the ump. So they're starting to make the pushes in, and Rambo he grabs the flag. They weren't able to, they took out Big Timer, but they were not able to get the return on it. And Rambo's got Marathon lightweight. He's looking to run it upstairs and going to try to get a cap to make this 3-1 and really try to close up the match here. They don't have much of a lead, and it looks like he gets it there 3-1. They were not taken out by the spray fire on top of helipad there. So what are you seeing right now on behalf of Xtravagant, Astro, as a competitive player? You've played a long time, for Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2. What are you seeing right now from Xtravagant that's working well for them?
Well, really, it comes down to Rambo making the difference for his team right now. It was a really heads-up play to push through green to get a return on that flag earlier when he was last alive, and now he just made a really heads-up play again and managed to pull a flag cap. So with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock here and his team having a 3-1 lead, he can rely on his teammates to play really defensive, and he can play a little sneaky too, like he just did. He picked up the kill on Fizzerp, and looks like Xtravagant is going to be a really good spot here to win this game.
Are you amazed as the objective player that he's got lightweight marathon going on? It's first he can do so much damage with that with that fast class. What do you think about that? I mean, does that really attest to his skill as a player as an objective, or would you prefer someone running with stopping power in marathon?
Oh no, lightweight marathon on a map like High Rise, Capture the Flag, that kind of game type, similar to Scrapyard, is pretty standard among the pro teams. You're really going to have no choice but to run lightweight and marathon as the objective player for your team. In the case that what we saw earlier where Rambo was the last alive, he was able to catch up to that flag carrier, and that's what made all the difference there.
Nice. Well, right there, we're seeing it wrap up here. Game 1, Capture the Flag, High Rise. Influence took an early lead, 1-0 in here, but they were not able to get that composure back as Xtravagant was able to capture 3 flags on the other host, which is Influence's host right now. We got Influence hosting Game 2 coming up next, but let's break down our scoreboards and see who really the difference makers were by the numbers.
Well, on the Xtravagant side, Rambo's coming in with the most points. He had 2 flag caps, and he was, I think, -3 there. But on the other side, everybody is kind of pretty much even for Influence, and in that case, it's kind of tough on the scoreboard for those guys.
Absolutely, I hear that, and really the scoreboard isn't always reflective on the play of people within the game. Rambo had a lot of clutch returns there, could have really changed the momentum for Influence. So props off to him for that round in Game 1. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is the Modern Warfare 2 Online Pro Circuit Live, brought to you by the PlayStation 3. We're coming in live right now from the Winners Finals, where you're watching #1 Influence take on the #6 seeded Xtravagant. We'll be back after this quick commercial break to bring you Game 2, Search and Destroy on Karachi.